Hello, everyone. Okay, so welcome to our movie search app production level application. So basically, I'll be showing us exactly what we did to build this app, and I'll be explaining the code. So what we will build is we are going to build a fully functional app that has search. You can search for movies, and when we search for that movie, we can display their images like the poster, the title, and the year. Okay, you can also fetch, we are fetching these movies using the fetch API. Okay, we are also having a loading spinner. Now, this is just for demonstration purposes. I'm more about I am here to explain more about the code. I'm not here to do more of designing. Okay, so this is a follow-up of the fetch API class that we did. Okay, so here we are just going to put together all we have done so far. Okay, so we also handle error. We'll do infinite scroll. So instead of doing page, clicking on page one, page two, page, we'll do infinite scroll. As the user is scrolling, all right, more movies are coming. They are loading more movies. Okay, so we're also going to be having, we would have users can actually save some movies as their favorites. We'll save them in the local storage. We'll also have dark mode. Okay, we'll toggle mode. So we also have the bounced search, so that we don't just search as the user is typing. Okay, we don't just we would wait for some seconds or for some milliseconds before we actually run the search function. So we'll also be having movie details modal. So if a user clicks on more movie details, it will come up with as a modal. So let me show you exactly what we have here. So if I go to my so this is what I have here. Okay, so I can toggle the dim. Okay, and you can see I can search for, if I search for Batman, you can see it's loading. All right, and we have this. As soon as I scroll down, as soon as I scroll down, look at it, it will load more. Okay, so let me refresh. Okay, okay, so if I take this thing down to, okay, you can see if I scroll, look at it, as I'm scrolling is look at it, more movies are coming, more movies are, so look at as I'm scrolling down, okay, more movies are coming. Okay, so it seems like it didn't work too well on the, so look at it, it's loading more movies. If I go down, there are a couple of things we could actually uh, make this app to look better. But basically, what we are trying to do here is to show you how to use the fetch API. Okay, so you can see, okay, you can see as you scroll, it's going down. So if I take it out of this, you see, it's working. So let me refresh. Let me refresh. So these are a couple of movies we have. So we have Batman in our search. So if I scroll down, okay, so this scroll is not really working too well here, but I'm not concerned about that. Okay, the scroll works like if I okay, you can see it's working so well here. But I am not about debugging code and do all those things. So I just want to show you more on how we actually work with API. So most of these features, though, even if they don't work that way, no problem. Okay. So I'm not, so look at it. If I try to search, look at it as I look, I see it's loading. It will load movies for BAT. If I try to do BA, it says no result found. Okay. If I try to do Porter. Okay, it's loading and it has given us movies that have their titles have this Porter. So we can search. Okay, and if I click on details, it gives us this modal and give us details. Okay, and I can also close it. Okay, so this application is not, maybe the UI, the user experience is not amazing. That's not what we are looking at. But what we are looking at is the code, like most especially the fetch API. So I'm going to take you to the code. Okay, so I'm going to take you to the code. This is the HTML. Okay, so you can pause the video, and if you want to code along, you can pause the video. So let me explain. So of course we have the doc type and we have all this. This is something you know. All right, so we are linking our CSS type. This is our CSS type. We are linking it. So we also now have this, our inside our body, we have the div, the container. So we have our movie, we have the button. This is the button for toggling, and we have this ID. We will use this ID to actually fetch this button and then work with it in JavaScript. We have the search input. So this is the place that will user type in to search for movies. We have the spinner. So this is the div that does that loading. So as the application is loading, as we are fetching data using the fetch API, would this would also show. So you can see it has a class of hidden. And if it has a class of hidden, if I go to the CSS and then look at hidden, hidden says display none. So we are not displaying it. It will not show. It is only show when we actually use JavaScript to change. Okay. So now this is the result. This is where we actually add all the movie that we have fetched. And this is the modal. And you can see that this modal has a class modal. Okay, and if I go to the class, you'll see that it is position fixed, top 0, width 100%, height 100%, background of this color. So it has some opacity. Okay, and the content are actually this way. So now, this is the HTML. So here we are also importing our JavaScript. So this is just built with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But we are more focused on JavaScript. We are more focused on JavaScript. So now, but take a look at everything we have here. You can, like I said, you can pause the video and type in the code. You can also build this. That's also good. So when we go to the CSS, I'll explain a little. This is the body. Although this class is not about CSS, so I'm not be explaining much. I'm not be explaining anything here. So, but you can pause the video and take the code. You can pause the video and take the code. And I would also make the GitHub repo available. All right, I'll make it available in the description or even in the pinned comment. Okay, so now let us go to the JavaScript. Now, this is where I am more interested in explaining the code. So you can see here we have our API key for this. Now look at this URL. Okay, we are using www.omdbapi.com. So if just copy this, go to this URL, go to this URL. So if let me show you, this is the URL. Okay, once you come here, all right, select free, enter your email address, enter your name, and enter the why you're using it. And if you click submit, they will send you the key to your email address. So this is where I received my own. So after when you receive it, they are going to give you a link to click, so that you click the link to activate the key. The key must be activated for this to work. So after you have entered your email address and submit, fill in the form and submit, they will send you an email. It's taking some time to open. So, but they will send you an email. Just follow the instructions there. But most especially, you see your key there. All right, you see your key, and then you would also see a link that you need to click to activate it. And once you click it, it will take you to somewhere, something like this. And for me, it says I have already activated it. So it will take you to somewhere here. Okay, so you just follow the instruction in the mail that they are going to send you. All right. So now, so once you have gotten your key, if this was a real application that we are deploying, I will not be exposing my key here. I'll put it in my environment variable. But it is of no use here. It doesn't mean anything here. So now I'm using document.get element to get the input element. So if I go back, you see that this is the input element. The ID is search input. So I will get it. Then I would also get the results. So this is where we'll add the container or the div that we are adding results. Okay, and I didn't even bother to use semantic HTML here. That was not, I am not, this is not a HTML class or something. Okay, so I will fetch, I'll get the results. Then I will also get the spinner. All right, the loading spinner. Okay, so once I have done that, I can now come look at, the current page is one. Let me use current page. So these are some variables I declared current page because um the current page, the current query. So the current, now, if you look at this URL now, you will see that you can even go to this. Let me show you something. If you want to study this, if you want to study this very well, you can go to, you can go and learn more about their. So you can learn more about the usage. So if you click on the usage, they show you exactly how to use this API. The parameters, they'll show you, just go through these things, the parameters, how you do search, the examples you have here. Just go through it so you understand how to use it. So if you have understood how to use it, so you can see that here we are giving the page number. So how many pages do we want? Okay, and then this is the query. This is the API key. So now I am saying the current page is one. So I just want the first page. The current query for now is an empty string, and its loading is false. So it is not loading. So there will be no spinner. All right. So now I have a function called debounce. So let me close all this. So I have a function called debounce. Okay, what does this function do? This function, now you can see that when I type, look at it, as I am typing, there is a delay before it will load. Look at it. If I type, there is a little delay before it will load. It doesn't load immediately. It takes some time. So that is the bounce I am using here. I am using this to delay so that let me wait for the user to type, to finish typing before I can fetch the data, so that it is for performance reasons. Okay, it's not for every as we are because we will be listening to the input event. So we don't want to just send fetch the API immediately as the user is typing. So we want to take some time. So now we have a timer, and inside of this debounce, we are returning another function. So basically, this is closure. If you remember closure, okay. So first thing first, we are clearing the timeout. We are calling clear timer to clear the timer, and then this is anything we put in here will be seen as an array. Okay, so now we are now creating a new timer. We are creating a set timeout. So, and we are running this function. Oops, sorry about that. No, no, no. Okay, so we are running the function that was giving us, look at this debounce takes in a parameter fn, and we are running this fn because we're expecting a function, and that is the set timer. So after this delay, all right, this function would execute. All right, so whatever function we pass in, so you're going to see how we use it. Now I have another function called search movies. So immediately we call this search movies function, we are getting the spinner, and we are removing the hidden class. Remember, the hidden class makes it display none, so it's not displayed. But as soon as we call search movie, all right, the hidden will be removed, so we will not see it. It will show loading. All right, it will show loading, and then we are fetching the API. We are fetching data using the fetch API, and we are fetching and giving all this. So just make sure that this is correct. Okay, so this search movie takes in a query and it takes in a page, but we are giving a default page number here, a default value to the page. So then once we get the data, once we get the response, we are saying we are waiting res.json, and we get the data. So if the data.response is equal to false, That means so there was no result. So we will get this div, the result div. Look at it. This is where we got the result div. We'll get it, and then we'll add inner HTML and say no. We'll add a paragraph and say no result found, and then we'll return. But if everything goes well, so and we are saying if page is equal to 1, all right, return an empty. The result should be empty. But if page is not equal to 1, okay, so we append movies. So this append movies is also a function. Look at the function here. The append movies will take all the movies that we have given here, because data.search gives us the data that the movies we are getting. So you can actually console.log that data and see exactly what it gives you. Okay, so data.search gives us the movie. So that's what we are passing in here as an argument. And then we are looping through each and every one of the movie, and we are using the map to transform. Remember, we use the map function in arrays to do transformation. So we are returning this string. We are returning this string. So it's just something we constructed on the fly. And as soon as we are done, we will now call the dot join method. Remember that this is a string. So this is an array. This is an array, so the dot join will convert it to a string, and we are the separator is just an empty string. Okay, so this is something you're supposed to know. So once we have done that, we will now get the HTML and add it to the result.inner h. We will add it to the result div. So that is the append movies. Okay, now if there is any error while we are fetching data, would the result.html will have this paragraph, error fetching data. And then finally block, we will remove the hidden, and we will add the hidden class to the spinner again so that it will no longer show. Okay. So this is the search movie. Now we have the debounced search. Remember that this debounce returns a function. All right. If I take you back, this debounce returns the debounce returns a function. Look at it. It returns a function, and it is the function that we are storing, we are saving as a variable here. Okay. So now when we now call this and this debounce takes in a function. And remember, after this delay, we are calling this function with this argument. And then so this is the function, but it's an arrow function. All right, it's an arrow function, and then it will execute after 500 milliseconds. So what we are doing here is that the current page will be equal to 1. Okay, then we will now call the search movies method and pass in this query that we have here. Then we will save the return. It returns this function. So we'll now go on, and so now when we are adding an event listener to the input input element that we got from here. Look at what we got it, the search input, where the user types in what they want to search. So we get it, and we are listening to this event input. So on this event, we are getting the value that the user have entered in the target node, and then we are trimming it. So we are removing any trailing or any spaces either from the front or from the back. We are removing it, and then if there is something, if it's not empty, then we are setting the local storage. So we want every time the user types in something in that bus, we want to save it as last search. So that it's not every time even though when they refresh, they will come back, they will also see it. So we are saving it in the local storage, and then we are calling the debounced search method. Remember, that's what we got here. So once as we call it, we pass in this query, okay? And then what happens is that it will take some time, all right? It will take 5 milliseconds, all right, before calling the search movies method. I hope this is not confusing for you guys. Okay, now this is the event listener here. So for the scroll method, for the scrolling, look at it. We added an event listener to the window. So as we are scrolling, if this is true, we are loading more data. So what we are saying here is that if window.height, so window.innerHeight is the viewport that's available. So the height of the viewport that's available. So we'll get the height, we'll add it to the window.scrollY. So the window.scrollY is like as we are scrolling down, the page, how far have we gone from the top? So if we add how far we have gone from the top and the inner height of the, as in the viewport, if it is greater than the document.body.offset width, so this body.offset width is the actual height of our HTML page. So we will minus 300 from it. So whenever the height is the inner height of the window and the scroll Y of the window is greater than or equal to the difference between the offsets and 300, we will load more data. So now we'll call the load data, and this is what we do. We will set its loading true. We will increase the current page, and then we'll call the search movies. All right, and pass in the current query. All right. Okay. So pass in the current query, and where is this current query coming? Let me show you where it's coming from. The current query is this. All right. So passing the current query and then passing the current page, and you can see that we are incrementing the current page here. And then after fetching the data, we will now set its loading to be false. So now this other function is when the user clicks on get favorite, will fetch the user's favorite movies from the local storage, and add to favorite to add them to the local storage. Okay, so we also have another one, the modal. So when the user clicks on, we are fetching this modal. So this is the modal we have here. This is the modal. All right. So when the user we have the modal, we are getting the modal, the div that we are using for the modal. We're also getting the movie details. Okay, so this is the move inside of the modal. We have this where we add the movie details. So now, okay, so we now have another function called open modal. So first of all, as we call this function, the first thing we do is to remove the hidden class on this modal. Okay, look at this modal. That's what we have here. We are removing because it has a hidden class. So we remove it. That's the first thing we do. So it will be visible, and then we will make a fetch, make a call to the fetch API, get the details of this particular of this movie that has this ID. Once we fetch it, we will now pass in, we are doing here movie details.inner HTML. So we got the movie details. So this is where we are going to pass in the details. So this is what the thing we constructed here using the template literal. And then we are on the click of, we have close modal. So inside of it, we have the close modal. Look at it, this span has this close modal. Okay. So on the click of it, we are adding back the hidden class to the modal div. All right. So now then we can also toggle. Then this toggle is for the toggling of light or dark background. Okay. So you can actually read the code and see what we have here. But on load, as the window is loading, the first time the window loads, this is an event. So the first time the window loads, we will get the last search, and then that will be we'll save it as last. So we will now use this information to fetch the movie. Okay. So now you might be wondering, where are we using? So if I take you back to okay, wait. Let me expand all this. So as soon as we fetch the movie, we call append movie. So this append movie is where if you take a look at this, you see that we have some buttons here. This is the button to add to favorites. We have another button here for the details. Okay, so now if I take you, you can just you can pause the video and take the code. Like I said, I will also make it available. I will make the GitHub repo available. So you can see we have everything here. So you can pause the video and then you can code along. But I would prefer that you just pause the video and code along. Because if I just give you the code, you just go and yes, you will not understand it. I want you to type this code yourself so that you will follow along and understand what I'm explaining here. Okay. So just and pause the video, okay, and type in the code. All right. Make sure you have everything correctly. So if we go back, you can see that is why we have what we have here. Okay. So for some reason, this thing is not okay. Let me try something. Let me try to see if I can debug a bit. So instead of saying minus 300 for my scroll, let me do something. Let me do something like maybe 500. Let's see if it helps. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, it seems like we don't have. Okay, so let me go back to Batman. Batman gives us plenty things to load. So we have Batman here. So so if I scroll, for some reason I don't know why it's not working, but I'm not ready to debug anything here. I don't even want to waste too much time here. But of course, if I take it to look at it, if I look at it is working here. So, but I don't have this. I don't. This is me showing you how to use the fetch API. Every other thing I did there was just let me just add to it. Okay, this is to show you how to use the fetch API. Okay, so this is to show you how to use the fetch API and then create something. Okay, so but if I had chance, I would have debugged why this is not okay. All right, let me try and spend some time here. So look at what I'm going to do, but it's working here because okay. So let me refresh. Let's go and debug. Okay, I will refresh. Okay, so on scroll down. Okay, so let me go back to my code and do something. Let me make sure that when I scroll, let's go to the scroll. Okay, so if this is this, what I want to do is say alert. Let me run an alert here. Okay, so you can see it's not working. It's not even triggering at all. So that let's see why. So maybe it's the logic is what I should take a look at. Okay. So okay, I could do something like this. Um okay, let me try and see if I remove it entirely. Debugging is something that will just take time. I don't want to spend that time here. See if I scroll. That logic is not working at all here, at all. But I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time here. So the logic is not working here. Okay, so let me do something. On Windows scroll, I want to say alert. I want to alert window dot inner height. Let me even understand what I'm doing. Inner height, comma, window dot scroll y, and then document dot body dot off height. Let's see what we have there. Okay. Okay, so let me do. So it's just the logic. It's just the logic. So let me fix it. I didn't actually check it when I was building. So the first one is going to be window dot height. And then the second one would be scroll Y. All right, so let's see what the maths that we actually get here. So if I scroll, okay, okay. So it doesn't seem to be greater than, you see, because look at it. If I see 695 plus 41 plus, it's not 695. 695 plus 41, 695. Okay. Okay, 695. 695 plus 41. 695 plus 41. Okay. Okay, let me just take this one off now and see if I take it off. Um, okay. You can see it's our logic. You can see now it's loading. So somehow, that logic was not good. It wasn't. So we will have to, um, so we can say if it is seven, if it is maybe minus 200, let's see if it will work. No. Hmm. Let's do 1000. You can say, okay, you can see, look at it, it's working. So just play around with it and see. Look at it, it's loading. So play around and see what you can actually do. Okay, so it is from the logic. Like I said, is the you have just it's just the mathematics that I didn't do right here. So I didn't consider so many other things. So you can try maybe 800, 700, and see if it works. Okay. So thank you very much. I'll see you when I see you again.